La catégorie X30 Senior Cup, X30 Master à l'instant qui s'élance. Vous découvrez une grille de départ, mais il ne faut pas tenir compte de celle-là. Ce n'est pas la bonne. Il s'agit de la catégorie cassant qui s'affiche à l'image, mais on va vous donner cette grille de départ avec Noah Mangal qui va s'élancer depuis la pole position, candidat au titre dans la catégorie X30 Senior Cup. François-Xavier Venet sera à ses côtés sur la première ligne, un duel donc de prétendants à la couronne dans cette Senior Cup. Mathieu Delbos s'élancera depuis la 3e position. Le titre, lui, est déjà promis en Master. Simon Emerlin s'élancera 4e devant Sky de Fourny et Noah Hubert. 7e place pour Bjorn Verham, 8e position pour Jasper Lennartz, suivi de Leon Leinsveld et Maxime Van Schoonwinkel. Pour poursuivre en dehors du top 10, eh bien, on a Mathis Blancart et Vincenzo Schilacci. Dilano Deckers partira 13e devant Max Storm, Michael Honnet, Marit Skurman et Julien Ramos. Voilà la bonne grille de départ que vous découvrez à l'instant sur votre écran si vous nous suivez depuis la chaîne YouTube de la Iame Series Benelux. C'est parti dans quelques instants pour une manche assez longue. On sait qu'elle est plus longue que pour la catégorie mini et mini rookie, puisque en mini rookie, nous avons 9 minutes et un tour au programme pour ces manches qualificatives. Ici, comme dans la catégorie cassant, nous avons 10 minutes et un tour au programme. On vous disait que dans la catégorie X30 Senior Cup, il y avait un sacré suspense pour le championnat, avec Noah Mangal qui est toujours dans la course au titre, au même titre que François-Xavier Venet, et de Sky de Fourny. Ça va se jouer entre ces trois-là. Il y a 2 unités d'écart entre tous ces pilotes-là, au moment où l'on a déjà décompté les plus mauvais résultats. Et donc, c'est important de le signaler parce qu'il va falloir absolument se classer aux avant-postes ce week-end si on veut espérer décrocher cette couronne tant convoitée. Le départ dans quelques instants, le peloton qui se présente devant la passerelle des mécaniciens. Et le départ avec vous, Alex.
Thank you very much, Simon. So, yellow flags waving as the drivers make their way out of the chicane up to the top of the hill. Now they will split, head into the tram lines. X30 Masters Senior Cup, heat number 1 is underway. The red lights go out and it's a storm of activity heading down into turn 1 for the first time. Noah Mangal having the lead of the race and getting very, very easily ahead of everybody else, including Mathieu Delboeuf, who's jumped up from 3rd, now runs 2nd overall. Delboeuf, the outgoing Senior Cup champion, but he's got François-Xavier Venet, the current Senior Cup leader, right on his wheel tracks at the moment, coming through turn 4. 3 wide going down into turn 5 on the run down to Chemin de Fer. That is brave, very, very brave indeed, but if you're on the outside of that, you will be very, very lucky if you don't touch 2 wheels on the grass. However, Noah Mangal, Mathieu Delboeuf and FX Venet lead the way in the top 3 in the running order of things. Sky de Fourny and Bjorn Verham round out the top 5. Other drivers that made moves up the order, Vincenzo Schilacci had a poor qualifying, as there goes FX. That was Sky de Fourny actually trying to go through, because François-Xavier Venet has dropped down to 6th position. And Sky de Fourny gets through on Mathieu Delboeuf as they wrestle their way out of turn 3, back through into the 90 left at 4. And once again, the cycle continues to evolve.
Ouais, le classement qui a bien évolué depuis le départ, avec un François-Xavier Venet qui a été mis en difficulté. Attention à l'attaque de Bjorn Verham sur Mathieu Delboeuf, ça s'est touché. Et encore l'attaque une fois du pilote belge sur le champion. Et Simon Emerlin qui s'accroche avec Bjorn Verham. Oh, c'est dommage, Bjorn Verham qui venait de passer devant Mathieu Delboeuf.
The adrenaline was coursing through Bjorn Verham's veins as he literally ripped the front axle of Simon Hemelin's kart from his chassis. Now, if Bjorn Verham has not got a noisy exhaust, he'll be a very, very lucky individual, but that was right over the rear. I mean, the thing was, Verham got elbows out against someone you don't really want to try and do that with, and that is Mathieu Delboeuf. Jasper Leenertz now up a position. FX Venet now starting to come back into the running order of things. Behind Leenertz, as there goes a dive from Venet. Catches Jasper Leenertz unaware. And now it's, and we've had a spin! Oh dear, there's two of them. One of which being the 633 of Maxime Van Schoenwinkel.
Maxime Van Schoenwinkel en tête à queue. Ah, c'était très serré. On a vu notamment Vincenzo Schilacci donner un petit coup de pare-choc avant à François-Xavier Venet qui est passé devant l'un des pilotes, c'est Jasper Leenertz qui est là. C'est vraiment très très animé dans ce peloton. Ça se bouscule un petit peu. C'est très très mouvementé. On l'a vu un peu plus tôt dans cette manche avec notamment Björn Verham et Simon Emmerlin qui se retrouvent désormais en toute fin de classement, en fond de classement. Et devant, eh bien, Noah Mangal suit sa course comme il le souhaite. Il est le plus rapide en piste pour l'instant, 56-149, et il a une avance confortable sur Sky de Fourny. Deux candidats au titre donc dans cette Senior Cup, au même titre que François-Xavier Venet, mais qui vit une manche un peu plus mouvementée dans ce peloton où l'on a retrouvé plusieurs pilotes en difficulté, en tête à queue ou accrochés.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to get to a point where there was going to be an incident, and we just saw that personified. I mean, Van Schoenwinkel got the slightest of taps, and I think it was, as you said, from Noah Hubert, who's dropped down the order. But the incident was so quick, like literally, Van Schoenwinkel got turned, and the domino rally effect happened as a direct consequence. So once you're in that part of the circuit, going through Piff Puff into Escargot, you really, really have to be on your A game. You've got to have eyes, not just in the back of your head, but all around it. Because if you're stuck in the middle of a pack of four or a pack of five, you are going to find that you might be the one in the middle that gets squeezed, and it could be the slightest tap. It sends your cart around, pointing in the wrong direction, and that's exactly what happened to Van Schoenwinkel on that particular occasion. But meantime, there is François-Xavier Venet being reeled in by Belgium's Jasper Leenertz, mechanic by Dad Bart, who works in the automotive industry on a lot of projects that he can't always talk about. You know, very, very hush-hush. But I spoke to Jasper on a post-race interview where he won his second heat at Genk. And the first heat didn't go quite to plan, mainly because of the thought that his dad thought he hadn't tightened the bolt for the clutch, and it was tight enough, and they pulled him back in and retired him. But Jasper Leenertz is a talent I've known for a many year, since his day as a mini driver back in the old days at Karting Genk, and now we see he's still getting that. He's still able to scratch that competitive urge of getting back behind the wheel.
La manche qualificative qui se poursuit, la situation qui s'est quelque peu décantée depuis quelques instants maintenant, avec toujours ce trio de tête qui va poursuivre cette course sans trop de difficultés. Noah Mangal en tête devant Sky de Fourny et Mathieu Delboeuf. François-Xavier Venet en 4e position avec la menace tout de même de Jasper Leenertz en 5e position. 6e place pour Vincenzo Schilacci devant Mathis Blancart, Max Storm, Michael Honnet et Leon Leinsveld. Voilà pour le top 10 provisoire, alors qu'ici on a une bagarre avec notamment Didano Deckers qui est passé devant Michael Honnet. Et Michael Honnet qui a vu aussi passer devant lui Leon Leinsveld. Alors que le meilleur tour en course est signé Simon Emmerlin. C'est dommage cet accrochage parce que visiblement ce pilote est bien dans le coup en termes de performance pure.
Well, it doesn't matter what class of racing you compete in. Everyone is just as competitive as each other. They have this... they have this mindset that they can go out there and do the business and get the job done. But sometimes it comes that sense of either desperation or urgency, and we saw the former, I'm afraid, that someone was a bit desperate to get through, causes a chain reaction, And then all of a sudden one goes off, another one goes off, and then you've got two people out of position. So 2 minutes and 40 plus an additional lap to go here in Heat 1 for Master, Senior Cup and Gentlemen. Noah Mengal leads the way in Senior Cup. Mathieu Delboeuf, third overall, runs in the lead of Masters, and Michael Onet, our only Gentleman driver this weekend in the 580, rounds out your top 11. The lead gap between Mengal and Deforny now 1.4 seconds. It's a further 2 seconds back 2.3 seconds back to Mathieu Delboeuf. François-Xavier Vinet, Jasper Leynitz round out your top 5. The sun continues to shine down from the skies up above here at Mariembourg as we are coming into the final throes of what is going to be the first of 2 qualifying heats for these drivers. They'll have a second one at around about 3:45 this afternoon. But more to the point, Noah Mengal doing exactly what he needs to do. Did not take part in the opening round at Karting Genk. At Mariembourg here back in early April, just a week after the collective tests in the last weekend of March. So Noah Mengal doing exactly what he needs to do, keeps the car on the black stuff, hits the apex, hits the braking point, hits the acceleration at the right time, and just keeping it nice and smooth and calm. Sky Deforny still trying to chase him down at the moment. Mathieu Delboeuf continues to lead in Masters with François-Xavier Vinet rounding out the top 3 in Senior Cup, top 4 overall. Jasper Leynitz still holding on to 5th overall, but he's got Vincenzo Schilacci trying to close on in. Schilacci currently 6th overall, P2 in the Masters division. So next time around we will have 2 more laps remaining. So Noah Mengal crosses the line with 38 seconds to spare. 2 laps to go in this encounter. And he leads Sky Deforny by nearly 1.7 seconds. Mathieu Delboeuf is a further nearly 2 seconds back in P3, leading the Masters classification with François-Xavier Vinet, Jasper Leynitz, Vincenzo Schilacci, Mathis Blancart, Max Storm, Leon Leinsfeld and Delano Deckers rounding out the top 10. The timer is counting down as we speak, and now it hits 0 as we've got the 680 of Max Storm battling away with Mathis Blancart on the OTK chassis just in front. But 1 more lap remains in this penultimate qualifying heat of the season. Noah Mengal, after 11 laps, has a lead over Sky Deforny, which measures 1.848 seconds. Mathieu Delboeuf continues to lead Masters. François-Xavier Vinet, Jasper Leynitz, Vincenzo Schilacci, Mathis Blancart, Max Storm, Leon Leinsfeld, Delano Deckers, Michael Onet. Noah Hubert now passed by, Noah Hubert has dropped down to the bottom of the order. So he's behind Simon Hemelin, Bjorn Verham and Maxime van Schoenwinkel. But Noah Mengal doing exactly what he needs to do. Keep it calm at the front end of the field. Don't make any unforced errors or give anyone a window of opportunity to get through, as he will now come out of Escargot for the final time. And Noah Mengal will pick up the win in this combined heat. So X30 Senior Cup overall race winner becomes Noah Mengal, who takes the checkered flag after 12 laps, wins by nearly 1 3/4 seconds ahead of Sky Deforny. Mathieu Delboeuf wins in Masters, P3 overall, 3.03 seconds behind our race leader and race winner. François-Xavier Vinet takes P3 in Senior Cup, 4th overall, ahead of Jasper Leynitz. Vincenzo Schilacci, 2nd in Masters, 6th overall, ahead of Mathis Blancart, Max Storm, Leon Leinsfeld and Delano Deckers. They round out your top 10. Michael Onet, Simon Hemelin, Bjorn Verham, Maxime van Schoenwinkel, Noah Hubert and Marath Schurman round out the finishers. And unfortunately on lap number 6 we lost Julian Ramos in the 444. But Noah Mengal takes the win for RSD Karting in the opening race for X30 Senior Cup Masters and Gentlemen.